Hello students, if you like this lecture, make sure that you hit that big fat like button because it motivates me to make more videos. Let's begin. In this lecture, we are going to learn about carbohydrates, the introduction of carbohydrates, along with the classification and the DL configuration. Now we'll take up the definition of carbohydrates. This is the modern definition of carbohydrates, which are polyhydroxy derivatives of aldehydes or ketones, and they are optically active. Now, why we are calling this as a modern definition? An old definition was also given. Simply, it was called as hydrates of carbon, but because of so many exceptions, that the definition was not accepted. Now, the modern definition has been defined as polyhydroxy derivatives. Poly means many. Hydroxy means OH groups are present. Derivatives means simply the compounds, you can call them as. Now we can define the carbohydrates into three simple statements. That is, these are those compounds. What compounds? Polyhydroxy compounds. They should contain one aldehyde group or one keto group, and they should be optically active. So aldehyde group is CHO, or it should be a keto group. That is why we are saying or, not and. Both cannot be present. Either it should be a aldehyde group or it should be a keto group. So this is the modern definition of carbohydrates. Next we'll take up the classification of carbohydrates based on number of sugar units. That is, here this is the hydrolysis products. What are the hydrolyzed products here? That is, if we get 1 sugar units or 2 sugar units, based on that we have divided the carbohydrates or classified the carbohydrates. Suppose after adding water, further it is not getting hydrolyzed, then it is called as a monosaccharide. And the best examples we know, that is glucose, fructose and mannose. So monosaccharides are those sugars which cannot be further hydrolyzed. Then we have disaccharides. So when you are going to add water, they give two monosaccharides units. Sucrose, maltose and lactose. Sucrose is a table sugar. Oligosaccharides, on hydrolysis, we have categorized into 3 to 10 sugar units under oligosaccharides. So oligosaccharide is nothing but a polysaccharide. But from 3 to 10 sugar units we have classified under the oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides many sugar units. Actually this classification is not much important examination point of view. Next, we are going to take up the classification based on the functional group present in the monosaccharides. Suppose if the functional group present in the monosaccharide is a keto group, then it will be called as a ketose. Ose means a sugar. The sugar containing the keto group is called as a ketose. And the other one is the aldose. Aldose means an aldehyde group is present. So ose means sugar. The sugar which contains an aldehyde group is called as a aldose. Now we are going to take up a very important part, that is the relative configuration of monosaccharides. The relative configuration you must have studied under the chapter stereochemistry. There we have discussed two types of configurations. One was absolute configuration, that is R and S, rectus and sinister, and the other one was relative configuration, which we are going to discuss a little bit of it, not a lot of details. So this is related with the monosaccharides, that is why we have to study this. So what is the relative configuration of monosaccharides we are going to study today. So before that, we should know a little bit details about how this relative configuration was assigned to the monosaccharides. The scientist Rozanov. Rozanov was the scientist who has given this relative configuration to the monosaccharides. What he has observed is the glyceraldehyde. What he did is the plus glyceraldehyde, that is dextroglyceraldehyde, he took. In that, what he found is the OH group is present on the right hand side. This is the chiral carbon present over here. So only one chiral carbon is present in the glyceraldehyde over here. So when OH is present on the right hand side, then he took this one as a standard as D-glyceraldehyde. So he took glyceraldehyde molecule as a standard, and if OH is present on here, only one chiral carbon is present. So if OH is present on that chiral carbon on the right hand side, then with respect to this one we are going to assign the configurations of the other molecules also. So here we are taking this one as a standard. So relative means you have to take one as a standard. With respect to that, you have to assign the configuration to the other molecules also. And if you take a mirror image of the glyceraldehyde over here, you will get capital L glyceraldehyde. So please make a note that the capital D is nowhere related with the small d. So small d or plus you have to represent. You can represent a small d or plus. This is nothing but the dextrorotatory. Small l or minus is levorotatory. So this small l and this capital L, this small d and this capital D has got no relation with one another. So this is generally a misconception with the students, that they think that you can represent the dextrorotatory by capital D also. No, capital D is the relative configuration. Capital L is relative configuration. Small d is the rotation, dextro or lee, and small l is the rotation on the left hand side. Okay, so now let us come back to our topic, that is capital D glyceraldehyde means on the chiral carbon if OH is present on the right hand side. If you take a mirror image of this one, this will give you capital L glyceraldehyde. Okay, now here only one chiral carbon is present, so no problem. But what if so many chiral carbons are present, for example, like in glucose, galactose, mannose, and fructose? If you see over here in glucose, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me number these chiral carbons. I am numbering only the chiral carbons, I am not numbering the chain. Please make it very clear. So the chain is starting from this point and it is ending at this point. So I am nowhere numbering the chain. I am numbering only the chiral carbons. So according to Rozanov, if one asymmetric carbon atom is there, there is no problem at all. If many asymmetric carbon atoms are there, then what he mentioned is we have to see the configuration, or we have to see the arrangement on the highest chiral carbon. So this for this one is the highest chiral carbon. On this highest chiral carbon, the OH is present on the right hand side, and we cannot change the structures of these molecules. These are fixed. These are the natural structures of these glucose, galactose, mannose, and fructose. So what did we observe? This fourth one is this one. This is the highest chiral carbon and OH is present on the right hand side. Now you compare. If it is present on the right hand side, then it will be called as a D-glucose, that is capital D glucose. And coincidentally, the glucose naturally existing is called as dextrose. That is, if you take a dilute solution of glucose and keep it in the polarimeter, you find that it rotates the plane polarized light towards the right side. So it is simply a coincidence. It follows a D series, that is the capital D series of relative configuration, and also it is a dextrorotatory. Now let us come back to this molecule, that is this is a galactose molecule. So if I happen to number this one as the first chiral carbon, second chiral carbon, third chiral carbon, fourth chiral carbon, again and let me make it very clear, this is the chain starting two terminals. This is the another terminal. I am not numbering the chain. So here the highest carbon atom is this one. So in this one also the OH is present on the right hand side, same as the capital D glyceraldehyde. So this will also follow the D series. So this will also be mentioned as capital D galactose. Next molecule will come up to the mannose. In mannose also we have got four asymmetric chiral or four chiral carbons. So here if we see again, this is the highest chiral carbon, and if we watch over here, the OH is present on the right hand side. Now you compare with this one, the OH is present on the right hand side. So this also follows the capital D series. So glucose, galactose and mannose, they follow the capital D series. Now when we take up the molecule of fructose, now this is the terminal of fructose, this is the terminal of fructose, and we know very well that wherever there is a double bond, this part cannot be a chiral carbon. So here overall how many chiral carbons are present over here? Fine, 3 chiral carbons are present over here. So what we are going to take up here, first chiral carbon, second chiral carbon, we are going to mention this one, and this one will be the third chiral carbon. Now this is the highest chiral carbon in the case of the fructose. What did we observe? The OH is present on the right hand side, same as in capital D glyceraldehyde. So this one also will be given as the capital D series. Now we know very well that fructose is a levorotatory. That means if you make a dilute solution of fructose and place it in the polarimeter, what do you observe? You observe that it rotates the plane polarized light towards the left hand side. So now you tell me, where is the relation between this D series and levorotatory? So there is no relation. So this misconception should be ruled out from the student's mind, that capital D is only a series of a relative configuration, and small d and small l are nowhere related with the capital D and capital L. So fructose, with the help of the fructose example, you can understand very well. So if you want to write the full name of fructose, how can you write it? We can write it as a capital D. Okay, then what else we know about that? It is having what type of rotation? Minus. That is, or either you write minus or you write small l. Then you have to write fructose, isn't it? So what is the name of fructose? Actual full name of fructose suggests that it belongs to D series and it is levorotatory, and this is fructose. Now glucose, naturally existing glucose, is a capital D. Okay, this is D series. All these are D series. That is, all monosaccharides are D series only. All monosaccharides are follow the D series. And what else we know about the glucose? That is, it is dextrorotatory. So for dextrorotatory, either I have to write small d or I have to write plus, and then I have to write here glucose. So this is simply a coincidence with that of glucose, but not with fructose, isn't it? Fructose is a D series, but it is levorotatory. Okay, hope this is very clear to you. So there is no relation between capital D, capital N and small l.
Now you go practice today's lesson. But before you leave, don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit that bell icon so that you get the notification every time I upload a new lecture. See you again in the next video.